from you. She knew he was a criminal when she married him. I mean, it's like, she married a criminal, and the world gotta stop when he did criminal-ish, like, for real.
Hey, Samore Love bugs, you have now tuned in to my Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. Guys, be sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not yet done so. Also, be sure to share this video wherever you like to share videos. And don't forget to check out my other channel, which is Samore Love TV, because I just put up a new storytime video there, which just explains so much about me. And I also will be putting up my Love and Hip Hop recaps on there on Monday, Tuesday, okay? So check that out. Alright guys, so we are going to talk about this episode. As you know, I didn't do episode 1, and that's just because I really wasn't feeling too well that day. So I was like, you know what, instead of pushing it and putting out a crappy review or putting up a late review, because I hate putting up really late reviews unless it's like something I really want to review and I just have to put it up late, then I just won't do it at all. So that's what I opted to do this time around. So right now we're going to get into we're going to catch up right here at episode 2 because we all already done seen episode 1. So as you know, they was having a little argument while they was at Cynthia's event that she was having, her lunch party for her, what was it, for shades, right? The shade queen. Well, that's what she was trying to be last season. Last season. So Kenya, she's coming for Sheree, and then she ends up apologizing because she called her the B word. And I'm just like, Kenya, we all know that what makes a good reality show is the drama. But like, dang, you gotta start. I feel like something was in my nose. I mean, like, dang, you really gotta start the first episode. Like, seriously, why are you coming for this girl? This lady did not even do anything to you. She's having her house, and you just gotta bring up the fact that the neighbors are complaining. Like, that had nothing to do with anything. It's like you're talking about the sky, and then all of a sudden you start talking about, oh, my hemorrhoids are bothering me. Like, what does that have to do anything with the sky? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just totally one of those type of moments. So yeah, she apologized for it. Sheree, she was talking like later on. I forgot who she was talking to. I think she was talking to, like, was it Cynthia and them? She was talking to somebody, and then she was just like how she's reformed. She's not one of those turn-up girls anymore. But I seen the red coming, y'all. I seen her about to flip out. Luckily, Kenya apologized at the right time because I seen it about to get really, really ugly. Peter, he tells Kandi and Cynthia what happened with him and Kenya when he had walked in. It's like Kenya was just coming for everybody. I don't think it was neither the time nor the place. Her and damn, I forget the girl's name now. You know who I'm talking about. The girl with the M. I forget her name, but anyways, Kenya, she was like coming for Peter, talking about the incident. It was just like I felt like she was doing too much. Like, he was coming genuinely just trying to say hello, and then if you want to talk to him, you most likely have his phone number. You can talk to him like that. Or you can just wait until a better opportunity to start talking about the incident if you're so concerned about your friend. And he also had mentioned, like, he was talking to Cynthia, and then he was saying that he wasn't concerned about when she came down the stairs. And that was kind of messed up too. I felt like he doesn't really appreciate her the way that he should. I mean, she, at the end of the day, is a beautiful woman who can probably get any guy, any millionaire, billionaire, if she just had more confidence in herself or whatever. I mean, I don't think she really needed to settle for Peter. And she even sounds like the love is not there the way it should be anymore. But I think she's just still trying to make it work. And I also feel like perhaps it could be because she doesn't want to seem like a failure, because at the end of the day, her family really didn't want her to be with him in the first place. So I think she's kind of trying to prove a point. And did y'all see when she asked her sister in the last episode about the relationship? I was saying this on Twitter. Like, out of all the people that you could have asked, why the heck you gonna pick her? You already know that she does not like this man for nothing. So she should have been the last person that you asked, so what do you think? Of course she's gonna say something negative. Like, I would be surprised if she said something positive. That's what I would have been surprised about. So now we are introduced by Kenya Moore. Well, they have a scene where Kenya Moore and Kim Fields are together. So I guess we can call that our introduction to Kim Fields. And a lot of us from back in the days, we know who Kim Fields is. I think she actually used to talk to one of my cousins. I had said that on Facebook. I'm pretty sure, but this was like years ago when I was just but like a little girl. I remember he was telling us when we was watching her on TV, he was like, oh, whatever. But yeah, that didn't last too long. It could have been a one-day thing. I don't even know. But yeah, years ago. So Kim, she was mentioning that she didn't have her skates anymore from when she was Tootie, and Kenya, Miss Shade Queen, she's actually the Shade Queen. She comes, she was like, oh, maybe they're in the Smithsonian. That's what Kim says. And then she's like, or eBay. I'm like, come on, you making her look like nothing she do is worth nothing. Like it gotta go up on eBay. Why couldn't it be on the Smithsonian? You know what I'm saying? Like grand. Phaedra and Cynthia, they meet up, but at the same time Sheree and Kandi were meeting up, and it seemed like they were talking about the same thing just at different locations. Where Phaedra and Cynthia, they were talking about how the whole thing had went down with Sheree and Kenya and how weird that was and like why did it even happen. Sheree and Kandi were kind of talking about the same thing, and then they also was talking about Kandi and Phaedra's little feud that they got going on and how they were so tight and so close, like real true friends, and everything's just falling apart between the two of them. And Portia, she's throwing a surprise party for her boo thing. I think he's going away or something because they said something about some going away party. And when it's like her family and her friends, well, really her sister and her close friend and the other guy, either he's an assistant or a friend, I forgot, I didn't see the subtitle, but they're just so pessimistic on her relationship. But you know what? At first I was saying that. I was like, yo, these people are so pessimistic. They don't have no faith in her and her relationship. And it kind of reminded me of how Don Juan and all of them was treating Kandi when Todd was coming into play and becoming her husband and everything like that. It's like they all be scared that the money's gonna be taken away or something. But I don't think that's necessarily the case with Portia's people. But I just felt like they were being very pessimistic. But then later on, when he actually came, when everybody's there, they throw surprise. He comes in, and when he was talking to his friend on the sideline, I mean, maybe he forgot he had a mic on or something. He's just like, whoa, like, I can't do all of this. Like, I didn't imagine this was going to happen. And his friend is telling him, like, yo, just calm down. You can't leave right now. And it's like, wait, hold on. He trying to leave? This is his party that his girl done threw for him. So he can be introduced to all her friends and family. And he looked like he's so overwhelmed, or like this is too much for him. And her sister was mentioned a good point that he's 24 years old and he's probably not at the place where she needs him to be. Because I did feel like she seems like she might be more into him than he is to her. I feel like he's just kind of going with the flow and just not trying to make her look bad. But I feel like he needs to speak up if he's feeling a certain way, because she's one of those people that it seems like she wears her heart on her sleeve, and she's like all in or nothing type of thing. And right now she's all in, and I feel like he might not be able to handle it, or it's just a lot for him, you know? What is he? I think he's like is he a football player or something like that? I'm supposing, because she called him her MVP, and she's like, oh, you're my trophy guy. I'm like, wow. She even mentioned that she's trying to get a house for him. I'm like, didn't she just get a new house like 2 seasons ago? That grand house where she was like, she didn't fully pay for it yet, but she knows that everything is coming. So it was kind of like she was doing the law of attraction, like, oh, I'm gonna do it because I know that I can, type of thing. Even though I don't have the money right now, it's coming. But now she's talking about they looking at houses, and I'm like, girl, slow your brakes a little bit, or if you're gonna do something like that, some housing arrangement, y'all gotta go see a lawyer. Because I was watching that new show that came on the other day, and they showed that, okay, you need to make sure you got them papers, because things don't work out. You don't want to be left with all the bills. And you just got to know all the things that you need to know, especially if you're not a wife. You need to have some type of legal stuff going down and binding contracts for these types of situations. So yeah, that's how that was going down. Kandi and Phaedra, they meet up, and Todd really wants Kandi to talk about the fact that Kandi owes him money, because they did a production for her. Although it didn't come out, he was supposed to get some money. Regardless to anything, that's what was supposed to happen. So Kandi kind of calls her out and says how she used to pretend that things were okay, but then behind her back she'd go and talk to people. And we've seen this discussion before where they supposedly squashed it, and then she go back, turn around, and do the same thing all over again. And that's the problem that I tend to have with Phaedra, is that sometimes she lives on cloud nine, or sometimes I feel like she will say things, like she kind of like just does things and just doesn't realize, like, okay, you're hurting somebody, or it's all about her, but she doesn't realize what she's doing wrong, especially in a friendship. So Kandi's telling her about different types of issues that's going down, and Phaedra's just like, oh, when she needed someone, she wasn't there for her. And it's like, Kandi was going through a whole lot herself, and I didn't see her being the best of friend either. And Don Juan, later on after that, he kind of came in and he mentioned a lot of those things. The fact that, she married a criminal and he did criminal stuff. Like, okay, and what's the point? Like, but that doesn't mean that you go behind your friend's back and start talking bad about her. Phaedra brings up something about how what got her was when somebody came up to her and was like, oh, can I buy the dirt bike or whatever it was that was in Kandi's house? And she's like, wait, what? And she said the feds was coming to her looking for all these things, and she didn't know where it was, not knowing that it was over there. And she felt like Kandi should have told her that. And she's like, come on. Like, see, that's a perfect example of, like, what are you talking about? This has nothing to do with you giving me my money. You're trying to put something else in there. Okay, them two, like the two husbands, was friends. That has nothing to do with Kandi. Just because that's Kandi's husband doesn't mean Kandi has to go back and tell her. I mean, she's, at the end of the day, her loyalty is to her husband. I mean, if he says don't say anything or whatever, then she can't just, look at them now. They're not even the best of friends. So I don't feel like she was obligated to tell her that. Phaedra's talking about, oh, I guess she don't know about girl code. That's not girl code. Girl code is when you don't steal your girl's man or nothing like that. That's girl code. That's breaking some girl code. Or if you tell something that the girl, maybe your friend was cheating on her husband, you go back to the husband and tell. That's breaking girl code. I think that those are girl code types of situations. But yeah, she was just saying, oh, that how Apollo was going and hanging out with her husband and not coming home being a husband that he should have been. She wasn't saying it. I'm like, what does that have anything to do with Kandi? Or her paying Kandi the money that she needs to be paid? Or not even Kandi, but Todd. I don't know, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down below. We'll be back over here next Sunday for the next one, and I'll see you there. Guys, be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one. Later.